Greetings in the name of the Lord Jesus the Christ. This one will actually be a short video, and it's basically just for me a confirmation about a riot because of this trucker thing. Now I don't know if it'll make national news or if it'll just be local news, and I don't even really watch the local news unless when something major happens and I'm flipping through channels to see what the different news channels say, because as I said, they seem to just change the story all the time. But in any case, I was talking to my cousin Destiny about the whole trucker situation, and then I mentioned it to my, and she was like, "No, they're not going to do that." And then I talked to my aunt about it, and she said they tried that once in Chicago and it didn't work. And my cousin came downstairs, and I was just like, "Oh, we were just talking about what me and her mom was talking about." And she was like, "Mm-hmm." Her voice was kind of like, "Of course," because she always tells us that we're so loud. Like she'll be outside, like coming in the house. She's like, "I can hear you outside." That's 'cause me and my aunt, we just talk a lot. So I'm laughing because sometimes, the stuff like the little stories that even the stuff that happens at her job is just, it's like hilarious. People are crazy. But anyway, but I don't think she knows. Talk about my cousin, my aunt's daughter. But I like to pick her brain because she really does have a lot of insight. Of course, the music industry is corrupt, but I really felt like she should have been a producer because, well, she's a business major. She's in school now, like doing like getting her master's. She's like finished the whole semester. I'm like, how did you finish a semester? It's like in 2 months, and then she works. So I didn't even know how she's able to do it, but she's just very diligent, very hardworking, and a very very focused person, and really just focused on her life and what it is she likes to do. And business is her thing, but she does love music, and just when I watch her different music shows of her, like her insight into the different people that are like auditioning or competing and things like that are always spot on. Like if they had her in um, maybe not artist development, but like recruiting artists. And then yeah, probably even artist development, like being in charge of, okay, you need to change this, change that. This person's going to help you with this. I'm going to send you to this person who's going to help you with that, or bring this person in to help you with this. She would be great. Like she would be really asset to any like like any like music industry company, but she's not into that. She wants to be a businesswoman. And but the reason I like to pick her brain is because she doesn't read her Bible. She knows what she was told about it. Is, from her, like, I guess mom or dad. Like her dad's mother was Catholic, so her mom's mom was, family whatever was like Baptist. So she knows what she learned from, I guess, them, or like a few times they visited churches, or maybe she'll visit, with her like friends. And like I said, today's youth, um, I think are a little bit more together because they grew up with computers. So like when it comes to curiosity about different things, whether it be sex, drugs, whatever, they can learn so much just from like the internet. Now it's kind of bad because they learn stuff so quick, so early, but at the same time, they're not just like out in the world with, like a chicken with their head cut off. They're when they make decisions to do whatever it is they do or be whatever it is they're going to be, they make really solid decisions based on information. A lot of the times, especially if you're dealing with, you know, like middle class people, people who have access to computers, and now my mind's thinking about Umar Johnson and how he said there really is no middle class, and as far as black people are concerned, and he breaks down the like whole history of what a middle class is and everything like that, and there really isn't the whole class system. When it comes to us, there's no class system. There's no middle class, because to be middle class means that you have some money that is tied up in like different assets and things like that. And for black people, that does not happen unless you are what we would call the bourgeoisie, or the black aristocracy. But they are usually either in the entertainment field, the religious field, or politics, and they dance to the beat of their handlers, their, how do I explain? They think that they've arrived, but they really haven't. They're just used as a buffer class to instill in other black people that our problems are not the white man, it's just us because we're lazy and we don't work hard and we, whatever. And then of course, and that they don't like reach back to try to help anybody do anything within the black community unless it's Africa. So whether it's Oprah or Jay-Z or whatever, they go and give their money to Africans, but not to African Americans whose ancestors went through slavery. Because the upper class people, when you're talking about the Illuminati and all these different groups, the governments of the world and the kings of the earth and the Jesuits, the popes, all of that, they do not want us to have anything ever. And they only give to like the Africans and stuff because it's to make them feel, it's because they're Luciferian, and they try to like mix evil with good, darkness with light, and it's for the purpose of making themselves look good and for making more money because you tax write-offs and different things like that. But at the same time, I don't like the Umar Johnson because him and the people who would like listen to him, they are, from what I can see, they are for war. They are for war. One person said we need to just have our own army. He had a picture up of all these black women in military uniforms, which was actually Gaddafi's army. And I thought they were American black women, but they were these North African women, and they were like in an army, and that's like what they're for. He kept referring to the white people as our enemy, and like, and then like, but someone like me, they would just say, well, he's one of those who he's a victim of society because, if they were to just watch my videos, they would say, see what we're talking about? We told you how the whole, destroying our black race by homosexuality was one of their plans, and we talked about insecurity and feeling like, you're not attractive enough because you're not light-skinned. He's mentioned all those things, so you can't listen to him. He's just a victim of society. They would pay me no attention. Or anyone like me that's trying to like be like, no, let's not be racist. We're all one family. They are like, see, he's crazy. He's no, don't listen to that. And I would be like, well, and then it makes me feel like, well, are they correct? And I know they're not, but it's but just in the sense of, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole like violence thing is not correct, but some of the things that they say are things we really need to look at, and but that whole violent part, you cannot be trying to involve yourself in these wars and in these riots, and that's what's going to happen, even with this situation with the truckers, because as I said, I picked my cousin's brain because she doesn't know, she doesn't watch YouTube, she doesn't listen to conspiracy. If she hears about it, it's like randomly someone talks about it, or sometimes it's like you watch one video and then you're like, wait, how did I get from that to here? Like you see the title and it's kind of curious. You're like, but she doesn't like know the things we talk about. She doesn't know like what the Bible says. So when she says certain things that are confirmation, I feel like it's coming directly from God because she doesn't have information like Barbara and Dan. A lot of times she'll say, well, I had to look that word up because I don't know what that word is. And I think to myself, that's a basic like English word. How can she not know this? She's talking about a middle-aged, middle class, upper middle class, maybe white woman. But and I just feel like, well, wow, it's better to just be somewhat, I don't want to say dumb, but somewhat ignorant to certain things, because then you don't guess. Well, am I thinking that because I saw a video on YouTube? Like when I told them that the lady was going to have a baby, the princess was going to have a baby, that was a boy. I know I watched a video by Alex's sister, and I tried to watch it again, but I just I don't have like a lot of, I guess, patience or whatever when it comes to like watching videos. But then I'm always, feeling like I don't want to make my own videos and they're long. I get upset because I don't even like sitting in front of the camera that long, and I feel like people aren't going to want to watch it, all of it. But I don't watch all of people's videos. But I do believe she did say something about it being a boy that she saw in the vision. So when I had like my dream, I thought, well, it's probably just because I watched her video about it. Now I'm seeing this baby boy, and and it was like a witch, and I know that the quote unquote goddess that's supposed to be of witchcraft is Hecate or Kate, like Kate Middleton, right? So that was really, but I just used that as a way. Of course, now that woman, when she saw my uncle, who's a minister, a reverend, whatever, she's like, oh, I know he's a prophet now because he told me that baby she's married, and she's shown up at a boy. I said, see, black people, it's just people in general. But and that was really why I mentioned it because I wanted to let it be known. But at the same time, I had that question like, well, is it because I saw this or saw that? Certain people, when you're ignorant of certain things, you don't have to ask yourself that question. So when I brought up this situation about the truckers again to her after talking to my aunt, she said it's all fake. And I paused. She said it's all fake because, first of all, okay, because you are allowed to protest, but you're not allowed to riot. So they'll just say that because of the trucks blocking the highway, it started a riot, and then they're going to just tow their trucks away. Which was my aunt was saying that they're going to just tow their trucks away. So for me, this is riot confirmation, and I don't think it'll get too like widespread, like the whole country's going to go into civil war. But things will just keep going like this. It'll just keep escalating into the point where right now, when they have these mass shootings, people are almost numb because it's happened, and then it happened, and then 10 years later, then 5 years later, then 3 years later, then a year later, 6 months later, and so it's like you expect it, and I guess it'll start happening every 3 months, and eventually, when the whole country is in utter disarray, where you're having like mass shootings and riots every week, people will just still be out shopping and thinking, oh, Jesus isn't coming back. No, that's not what this means, because they'll be so numb. Because they're going to do it step by step and day by day. Anyway, God bless you. Accept Jesus into your heart today.